All right, welcome back, Pokemon Go players, to another episode of the Purified podcast. Today is July 11th, 2024. I am your host, Luis Palacios, with my co-host, Chris. But
Okay,
I
there we
think people can actually hear you now, which is good. And I can hear you through my headsets again.
go.
I hate this thing right now. I gotta test it out so many times. And unfortunately, I can't test it out too many times. All right, keep talking while I get your feedback on.
Sounds good.
All right, so
Yeah.
you said that you did. I lost you at some point when you were actually getting your stuff before GoFest. So can you just could repeat that at that point?
Yeah. So I was saying the events before GoFest were pretty nice to me. So I just going through that real quick. We got shiny Meltan, shiny Charmander with the hat, and a Hundo Pichu from an egg. Then I got a Hundo Ho-Oh, a shiny Ho-Oh, and a Hundo Jigglypuff. Pretty much all of that in one day of the third.
Damn.
So that was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I got a shiny Execute, uh, and that was the first shiny that I caught when I got to New York. I think there was one that ran from the Go Plus, and I was like, "Yeah, we're not gonna count that." But yeah, that was pretty funny. Nothing crazy. But then GoFest officially started. I started on the 6th. I landed the 5th, but I had the city experience for the 6th. And the first shiny I got for GoFest was a new one for me. I got Patillo. And then we got Pikachu, Suncrown, Lunatone, Clamperl, Rufflet, Furfrou, Nihilego. I got my Hundo Necrozma. Got Amora, Panseer, Frillish, Sableye, Furfrou, Oranguru, Golett, Oricora. Dude, they just keep coming. I think I got my rarest one, which was the Espeon with the scarf.
Mm.
Uh, so happy about that. Got a Phantump, Eevee with the Moon Crown, Tyrant, Oranguru, Pumpkaboo, Panseer, Arkin, Eevee, Sableye, Arkin. Yeah, they just kept coming. Pikachu with the Sun Crown, Ducklet, level 1 Lapras, Finian, Lapras, Tyrant, Dwebble, Oricorio, my only Flabebe, an Orange Flower Flabebe, 2 Doduo, level 1 Patillo, Eevee with this Moon Crown, Panseer, my first Mantine, Ducklet, Furfrou, Eevee with the Sun Crown, Beldum, Frillish, Ducklet, Tyrant. I finally got a shiny Necrozma after like what felt like 50 raids. And it was a 14, 15, 14.
Mm.
Shiny Finian, Lapras, two of the America, oh my gosh, the Pom Pom Oricorio. Another Lapras, Drillbur, traded Summertime Lovin'. I had a second shiny Necrozma I got in that day. And I traded it, and it was a 14, 15, 15, 98. So very happy about that. Got a shiny Moon Crown again for Eevee. Patilil, Panseer. The day before, I had a shiny unknown A run from me because
Mm.
the Go Plus was like, "Hey man, I got your back," and he was like, "Oops, dropped it."
Yeah.
But I was able to reclaim one the next day. I got another shiny Mantine, and then after the event, right after it ended, I got a shiny Lickitung, uh, and then a shiny Staryu as part of the water event that
Okay.
happened after.
Yeah.
And then I finally rated a shiny Guzzlord, which ended up being a 96. And then Go Plus to shiny Ducklet again.
Mm.
Uh, and from the free Ultra Beast that we got, I was able to get two. I got shiny Nihilego and shiny Celesteela. I'm very happy
Of
about that.
course.
I
Everybody's
didn't want to
getting
rate
shiny
it.
by the. I know. Yeah. We'll talk about what's exactly that's happening for everybody out there. So just give us a moment when it comes down to it. Let's finish up the
Yeah.
halls. Any Hondas?
After that, not really. Well, the only Hondas I got were Ho-Oh and Necrozma, I believe. Like the only big boy
Of
ones. And then
course.
after the event, I just got a Claire Pearl, Throw, Kartana Raid Hour gave me a shiny Kartana, and it
Nice.
also gave me another shiny Spinda. But that's it for the hauls for me.
All right, cool. Well, let's start. 7 days since I had really been to New York. We'll start it on Thursday, so that was 4th of July, and I started with 4 shinies out of the Gold Plus being just normally, and this was before the event starts. So I got a Nether Male, Execute, Alola, and Jigglypuff, all from just one day of walking around New York, trying to make sure that I can go see the fireworks at some point. So, and then we go to regular Go Fest, where that's when it starts. And of course, the event starts. I had the Friday Park experience in the morning, which we'll talk about our experiences in a moment. But this is our host right now. So I start out with an Eevee with the Sun Crown, then an Amora, which I'm super happy because I wanted this for a while. A Pancham, Oricorio, Pompon Oricorio, a Dratini, a Phantom. I'm also happy about that because I want to complete the family. I did get the shiny Necrozma at some point during that day. I had a shiny Tyrum, which is like my 4th, I think. Shiny Finian, which is good because I needed that anyways. Mantine. I don't remember if I actually had one or not, but I'll figure it out when I get there. Another Oricorio. Then I went and visited Ken and Adam in their meet and greet, and both Hemor and the other style Oricorio that we had there, the pink one, both hatches out of back-to-back.
Crazy.
Then I get a Ducklet, I think that's a Ghost Plus, Rufflet, Archen, Pelotil, which is my second one, which is good because I needed the second one for the staff. Also, Lord Drew, thank you for joining us in the stream. Another Oricorio, another Necrozma shiny. I did get another Ducklet that I bought to Swana, so I got the family. Sableye, I don't remember when I cut this because I remember the Gold Plus just going through. Traded for a background shiny Necrozma, which again, it wasn't too bad. It was a 13, 14, 15, so not too bad in the ABs. Could be the
That's
one.
not bad at all.
Yeah. Shiny Espeon Gold Plus. I think at this point I was in day 2. City experience at this point because that's what I remember the most. Panseer, Panseer. I mean, the red one is the same thing. I did get a shiny Buzzwole during the time, and I did trade one of our locals there, so we did get a lucky shiny Buzzwole trade at the time. No background though, unfortunately, so that's too bad, you know. Lunatum, Pancham again, Finian, Ducklet, so all of that in Gold Plus. I was able to Gold Plus a shiny for the Bebe, which was really good. I'm actually happy about that. Lunaton and Solrock literally back-to-back at this point. Umbreon with the Scarf, which I'm very happy, and that's a level 1, so it's even better. It will be another tradable Pokemon in the end of the day. Another Pelotil, which is cool, because I believe it has a Hisuian form anyways. A Punkaboo. I traded for a shiny Phantom, which, surprisingly, the funny thing about this trade is that this was a person that I actually became friends with in the game 4 years ago when in Chicago, and I have never heard from her again. I don't even know how to contact that at this point. For some reason, we saw each other at a raid in Central Park in the museum area, and we're like, how the heck? Okay, hold on, let's do something. Let's see if I can find her. She had the right idea to actually start the trade when I was there, so that's actually pretty good.
Oh my.
So we were able to do our lucky trade then, and I kind of finally got that lucky trade done, even though I have never even spoken to her at this point. So, I don't know. Shiny Oranguru, finally got the monkey by myself. That sounded weird. Lunaton, Skarmory, which was obvious because Skarmory was spawning so many times. Another Golett, I think I had like the 10 one. A Golett again. I was able to meet up with Shiny Shinx once again in GoFest, so we actually traded a Phantom for a Dribble. So I was actually happy about that. Another Finian, so that's actually good. I think I have the family now. I didn't even know about that. I hatched a shiny Smoochum from a 2K egg. 2 more Ducklets, one of them from Research. Gotta love them. A shiny Pichu from a 2K egg. Why not? Another Panseer. Another shiny Recrossma trade. Another Finian. Really? Did I get that many Finian? I didn't even notice at that point. Those are just like what's happening, like whatever Gold Plus I got at this point. Another Amora. What?
I said that's the best kind of shiny.
I know,
ones
right?
You don't even know you get.
I got another Amora. I got a shiny Complet, another Golett. Jesus, goodness gracious. What the heck? It's like, I don't even know what I'm doing with all of this. All right, so I'm close to at the end of day 2. I think that was the last one, was a Ducklet. And then on day 3, I only had half a day to play, unfortunately. But I was still trying to do as much as possible. I did all my raids that I could. So I got a Beldum. I got an Eevee for the Sound Crown, which unfortunately I needed the other one, but I couldn't get. You got one with the Moon Crown?
I got like 2 or 3 with the Moon Crown.
Oh, nice.
So I think I should have at least one extra one to trade.
Cool. That's basically what we need. I was able to actually get a extra large shiny Furlish, the blue one.
Ooh.
Yeah, very, very nice. I was finally able to get the Furfrou after like 3 times the Gold Plus just doesn't want to catch her or something, you know. And then another Pansear, another Pancham, a Pikachu with the Moon Crown. That's pretty cool. Another Furlish, so I completed the family for blue. And my last raid in New York before I actually left, it was like basically the last before my trains took me to the airport. And unfortunately, after you're out of the city, you don't have the spawns anymore or anything. I was able to get a shiny Kartana, breaking the curse of shiny Kartana. With the background too, so that was good. I'm actually happy about that.
Oh my!
And then
I will say, whenever I got a shiny, I don't think I had the background really.
So and let me finish real quick. I also got a shiny Corsola from the 7KX that we're having right now, and which is my very first one, surprisingly. And then a Bennett Beef that I caught in a while. Okay. Case in point on the background, there was actually a guaranteed background. If for the very first catch of the day, the very first legendary of the rain.
Really?
Yep. So you could have gotten a shiny one if that was the first one you caught. And I only knew that literally the day after GoFest.
Yeah, because I heard people talking about it, but the only one that they were telling me was that if you got them from, what's it called? The quest, they should have been a guaranteed one with the background.
Yeah, no, but the ones from the quest, but what I don't know if my Solgaleo got one or not. Let me see. Solgaleo has the background, so that's good. And then I know there's another Necros one we get from the research, and I can't remember which one was it. No, the one from the research doesn't actually have the background.
Yeah, I'm looking through. I don't think any of mine have the background, but to be fair, I was catching them pretty late.
You are able to search for special backgrounds if you actually go to the search bar and see more. There is the location background and the special background that we'll talk about in a moment when it comes down to it, because everybody's going crazy over it. So that's that on the whole side. My Hondos unfortunately did not get lucky with the Necrozma. Which Chris, you're gonna have to train me whatever you can at that point.
Yeah, Summertime 11 was jealous about that too.
Yeah, me too. I know. I mean, Summertime 11 got the Nando the Nando shiny.
Oh,
the 10 shiny with the background. I'm like, that's just the opposite. But yeah, so the only two Hondos was a Hatch, Shelder, and I actually found the Rufflet in New York. So I mean, a Hondo Rufflet, it's not bad. It's like my third one, I think. But kind of fitting for 4 years July weekend and on all of that. So when it comes to that, I'll evolve that when I can, when I get the chance to in the end of the day. And that's it. That's pretty much on this on the whole. The only last notable thing that I got was actually my very first Nando Shadow. Can you guess what it is?
Really?
Mm-hmm. Can you guess what it is?
Sneasel.
No, it's a Trapinch.
that is a pretty fun one.
Yeah, I mean, I got it from Sierra, so that's not bad. Although, I don't know. It's like the fifth one. No, I guess this was way before New York, actually. I got this in June. I got that a month ago. Wow, that was that comes to show how much I actually checked for shadows, So I finally did the 000 search, and then it appeared that I was like, oh, okay, well, I gotta delete everything else after that. Anyways, that is our host for the amazing New York experience at that point, and more, of course, because we have a lot more going to that. My days were really too bad. Again, we had the fireworks on July 4, gameplay experience, and it was incredibly hot on Friday, unfortunately. We almost dehydrated for a moment there, even though we were drinking water like left and right and trying to get as much as possible. We were with our locals, both Fern and Ashley and Kiki. And holy goodness, that day we were just like, the moment we finished the park, because we were so tired after walking the entire hours of the park, we were deciding to either take an Uber or it was either Uber, the bus, which unfortunately was super crowded right now because everybody was trying to get off the island, or walk the bridge and then get the train going somewhere, you know? So we chose the place to eat. It was a Chinese place. And luckily, hold on, you still with me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, for some reason my stream labs kind of lagged there for a second, so of course always something going on with this live stream. I gotta fix something.
Trying to stress you out. Yeah.
I know today it's just been a stressful day already. Anyways, but yeah, we got to a Chinese place that we chose, and right by Central Park, so it was actually pretty nice. Bro, we were defeated when we sat down. We were just like trying to get our body temperatures to go down, drinking as much water as possible, at least try to eat something so that way at least our systems can actually, get through it. But yeah, it was really, really hot. Now they went back. I think we went to Bryant's Park afterwards, which is like the whole hub to really play Pokemon Go in New York at that point. And we were there for just a few more hours. At least they were there for a few more hours, and they were like, "Okay, we gotta go because our train leaves for this." And then they left me there until 7. I did more race and everything, and by the time the event ended, I was like, "I'm going home. I'm going back to the Airbnb." I started with an Airbnb with a bunch of the Laura podcast bunch that I have stated in the last few years. That's pretty cool. And we had like 3 different stories. Actually, it was like a 4-story house and like 5 different bedrooms and things like that. So that's actually pretty cool. I bunked in with David Hernandez as the Pokeball Torrents.
Awesome.
Yeah. He had his own schedule. So definitely something that if you want to check out his contact, make sure you do. He's taking a little bit of a break before GoFest Global, of course, but it is how it is. And yeah, that was that on that day. That was day 1. Day 2, state experience, and I wasn't really like, wake up super early and do the race. Unfortunately, the race were starting at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I could have done more, of course, but I was not actually thinking of that.
Yeah, I was just sitting in bed doing a few remotes before everyone else got up.
Yeah, no, trust me, I was not want to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and start reading. No, not
in the city. I don't know very.
And we had actually 2 gyms in our proximity during the Airbnb, so this wasn't too bad. That we could just like sit there and do it every moment of the day. But yeah, so I woke up. It took me like half an hour to really figure out the train stations because I didn't know how to get to Central Park at that point. I took some breakfast with both the Kiki and Fern and Ashley. And and then we started saying, let's go here, let's go there. We walked Central Park a bit on our own time, and then we had the New York State of Grind. And Chris and I we really had to fight for that one.
Yeah, I was there for like a minute, 2 minutes.
You were there for like 5 minutes, brother. So,
oh my.
But yeah,
it was very nice to meet everyone in the Lured Up.
That was the very first time you met everybody from the network in person. So not too bad to say the least, but I did walk almost the 5 miles with them. I say almost because I didn't cross the bridge, but I was like literally walking from 1st Street into 5th Street before I actually got out to them. But yeah, that was definitely a walk when it comes down to it. We walked all of Central Park and almost close to Bryant's Park, I think. But by the time we actually got to Bryant's Park, we were already in a Nintendo store actually. So literally, dude, if you would have waited like another 2 or 3 minutes, we would have been there all together. We would have taken a photo all together.
Yeah, I wish I could have. one of my friend's batteries was low, and we were like, let's make sure you can get back to the hotel.
His battery. I could have given him a battery for a bit.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the one in the park.
Ah, okay, cool. But yeah, so that final walk also kind of draining. It was a little bit better in weather-wise when it comes down to it, and that's a beautiful time to hang out with everybody at that point. But yeah, it was one of the moments where we finished up the walk. We went for dinner, and then we were like, let's go meet up the Cocast crew. So we went to their meetup over at Central Park again, or in the proximity of Central Park. And then everybody else showed up too. So I was like, okay, cool, let's all take pictures. So we all took pictures and everything, and that was pretty much it for day 2. Because we went home and we're like, yeah, let's take a shower. Good night. Peace out. Done and done. And of course, most of the people there in the grind were also having their gameplay that day too. So they were extremely tired afterwards. I had the luckily of not doing that, thank God, because if not, I would have actually died that day too. And then stage 3 again, it was just one of those like I'll do a couple of raids here and there, catch a few things during the gameplay experience, and then had to head home. So luckily, somehow timing kind of worked with the train, because the train to go to the airport only went in certain hours, and I thought I was late to one of them. Actually, I was late to one of them, the one that I wanted to take. But then the other one was just fairly fast. I was able to get to the airport really quickly. Was able to check in and everything like that, and on my way home. Again, spawns don't appear after leaving the city. So, and my airport was in Newark, New Jersey. So that city, like literally, the geofence was like, you get off on the train. 2 seconds later, you're out of the spawns. So you're like, dang it. And the funny thing is like, during that weekend or that last day, rates were actually increased to 20 to start on the New Zealand area.
I saw that,
and I was like, it couldn't have given me that like 20 days, like 8 hours ago.
That's exactly what my friend Andrew Buster was saying. He was like, dude, what the heck? We only got 5.
Yeah, which
don't get me wrong. Like normally I don't care that much, but when we got to raid like 5-6 different raid bosses.
Yeah, it definitely would have been something that we could have really used for the actual event and everything. Which unfortunately, I guess fortunate and unfortunately, the unfortunate part is that they didn't increase the remote, so basically nobody could actually do anything, even if you were in a gameplay experience in the city and everything. Fortunate is like at least cell service wasn't too bad, because not everybody was raining the same thing here and there. And we had our ways to go around gyms, which was easier that way anyways. Central Park also became a hub for like 10 gyms, which I only found out like the third day afterwards, and I was like, oh, okay, well, we'll if I have the time, I'll go there, but if not, then too bad, so sad. Although the cell service was actually horrible there, because everybody was going there. So
yeah, in the middle, my friends and I's phones kept dropping out.
Yeah, so
we were like, we gotta move.
Yeah. It's like, it's not a bad thing that Niantic actually put the gyms there, because I know it was an extended amount of gyms regardless, but if they're gonna do that, they gotta put cell service there too. If not, things are gonna be bad. So luckily I didn't decide to go there, and it would have been actually the rage for like my last few hours anyways. So aside from that, I was so happy to see everybody after such a long time. Of course, we don't get to really go out and meet everybody at one point. Everybody's doing their own thing and things like that. So it's always nice to meet everybody from the crew, everybody from the Airbnb for the last few years. You make amazing memories with them, even if it's everybody's having their own agenda regardless. We also had Shadow Prime, or no, Old Johnny One Ball from the Roundtable Chat, which was pretty cool. But again, everybody who I actually basically bunked with, because it was the whole Airbnb with everybody. It was just nice to see everybody. It just feels like you really are close with them after such a long time, So it's nice here and there. I gotta get you going with an Airbnb with us there, brother.
Oh my.
Maybe
Yeah,
then.
maybe for the next GoFest.
Yeah. We'll get you going there. Hopefully it's not New York again, but you know it is. Any more thoughts on New York before we continue on?
Yeah. I think from what I heard from everyone else, I definitely agree that New York had the best city experience. Not necessarily the park experience, but I think the city experience really was one of the best ones for sure. I think they did a really good job of making you want to go out in the city, especially to like Central Park and play.
Yeah.
One of the things my friend Andrew was saying, because he's been to Go Tour Hoenn and stuff with me.
Mm-hmm.
He said he really liked the fact that they didn't even try to put the Wi-Fi in the park.
Mm-hmm.
They just were like, we're just gonna put everything into the cell service towers.
Yeah.
And I think it worked out really well. The only time we ever had any issues was going between different areas.
Okay.
So between south and north part of Randall's Island.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I would have just stayed in the game, there would have only been like 10, 15 seconds without spawns, but I was stressing out thinking that there was an issue, so I kept leaving the game and coming back. And I don't think I need to do that, but that was just the only gripe we had.
Yeah, I agree when it comes down to it. You were playing on the third day of the event. You had the morning event too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So between Saturday and Sunday are the two most popular ones. Of course, Saturday was where everybody had the ability to. Friday wasn't too bad for the reason that we had less people actually playing Friday for that reason. So cell service and everything was actually pretty good at that point. But Saturday, everybody was like, we all gotta be there. So surprisingly, I don't know why Saturday is such a popular day.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't know if the flights were better or what. I was really surprised Saturday filled up first though too.
It's sold out. Oh, it's drowsy. Anyways, but yeah, so yeah, that was again one another great experience. Niantic, you know, do good things when it can, but of course, make sure that you don't do it back again in New York. I think we are kind of drained from New York after this. If they do another New York office, I'm just gonna go to a Gold Tour and that's it.
Oh my. Yeah, Go Tour and Go Fest have both been pretty much the same level of excitement for me, to be honest.
Yeah, and don't pick the expensive cities anymore, please. I'm running out of money here. So, anyway, so it's that when it comes to our recap New York. I believe that's everything we have to cover. But of course, the luck is there. We are here once again to talk about the research for the week. So let's go ahead and get to the research topics. First thing first is, of course, during GoFest New York, we actually had the 1 year anniversary of Pokemon Go. And give me 1 second to get everything going here. I know you guys can still hear Chris, so that's good.
Hopefully.
You can, don't worry. Anyways, 8-year anniversary of Pokemon Go is here. And they teased us once again with one of the interesting backgrounds or posters that they do for this. And we have a bunch of things to cover here. We do have the Galarian starters for the first time in a while. Paldea has evolved for some reason. I mean, we have the second evolution stages for those. We have Necrozma in both their forms. We have both Celigers and Scaliger, or whatever the name is. Fanlings, looks like we have Noibat. We have Axew again. Please, no more Axew. But the biggest thing when it comes down to this is the Dynamax Wartortle right in the middle. I don't think nobody can actually not see that when it comes down to it. So, which this hints that Dynamax is coming to Pokemon Go. And then, of course, the blog post just basically says all the cool features that they are, all the things that I actually did last year and the whole thing. So, like the Pokemon Horizons crossover, the Adventure Effects introduction for the first time, Paldea region comes to Pokemon Go, things like that they basically did. Plus the visuals and all the stuff that happened this year anyway, so that's pretty cool. How excited are you about Dynamax, and how do you think that this is actually going to be implemented at this point?
With all the adventure like effects that we have, I'm sure it's just gonna be, a little bit extra damage, you know, something weird. But the first thing that popped in my mind is like how we put extra larges into showcases. I was like, are people gonna put a Dynamax Wailord into like a showcase? Something stupidly big.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely curious to see if that works. So
There's been a
we'll see.
bunch of a bunch of whatchamacallit, data mining into the game
Mhm.
recently. We won't really go over it until we actually see a little more information outside. Uh, but there are some exciting stuff actually happening in the mines right now, so take it with a grain of salt of how really Pokemon Dynamax Pokemon is. Because in the end of the day, it's not just Dynamax Pokemon that we have to worry. We have to worry about Gigantamax Pokemon, which is the other
Yes.
forms of the Pokemons. Things like Butterfree or even Melmelton actually has a Gigantamax form and everything. And surprisingly enough, having a Gigantamax form for our mythical Pokemon in Pokemon Go kind of feels like a thing that they need to do regardless. So but yeah, so Pokemon Go, 8 years, 2 more years before the 10-year anniversary. They gotta have to go big when it comes down to it. So I hope that we are here for that, and hopefully we don't actually something happens before then. You're still with me, Chris?
Yes.
Sweet. I don't know. You don't move, so I don't know what happens. All right. So next on our list of things, we have exciting news because just because GoFest is over, or at least GoFest New York is over, GoFest Global is happening in just a few moments. So, moments like a day, 2 days from now, something like that, right? Uh,
Yeah.
Global GoFest ticket holders get an exciting early access to event Team 7KX. So it is already started on Monday, July 8th at 10 a.m. to Sunday, July 14th at 11:59 p.m. The bonuses are half distance for hatching eggs when eggs are placed in incubators during the event period. Trainers can open up to 40 gifts per day, each day, and increased chance of encountering shiny Pokemon from 7K and common eggs. I won't say BS because it actually happened to me, but it's still BS because everybody's getting all the good stuff. You want to go over the pool real quick?
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny that you mentioned that somebody at Cartana Raid Hour was talking about how they don't believe in those updated odds. Guess what shiny he hatched recently from eggs?
Larvesta.
Larvesta.
Uh,
Guess what? His second ever Larvesta hatch.
ah!
And I'm like, what? You don't believe in increased shiny odds? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So for the event eggs, this is your I guess your first chance at getting shiny Jangmo, huh? Because it wasn't available in New York, right?
No, the shiny was not available in New York.
Okay. So in the one tier for eggs, we got Ducklet, Emolga, Crabrawler, your favorite, and Jangmo-O. So that's going to be your most likely hatches. We got Corsola, Budu, Maractus, Volibee, and Rockruff. It is important to note that Maractus can't be shiny yet. But I know a lot of people are on that course. And then in the five egg tier, we got Larvesta and Rockruff Dusk form. So very, very fun hatches. I don't think there's really one that I wouldn't really want. Don't get me wrong, we see Maractus all the time where we live in Florida, but getting a hundo of that would definitely be cool.
Yeah, no, I agree. I actually already have the Honda Maracas actually, so
Oh my gosh.
actually I don't even remember. Do I have two Maracas Hondas? Let me see. Maracas. I think it's just the one. Oh, wait, hold on. No, actually, I don't. It was actually Carnivine that I have Honda. That's the difference. So, but yeah, the pool, amazing pool, really, because all the chases are there. Basically, all the GoFest chases, Emolga, Ducklet, Caraballer, and Yanmo all in the tier 1. So very easy to hatch when it comes down to it. The odds are 1 in 4 when it comes down to those. However, because the rest of the pool is there, so Corsola, Vidu, I don't know why Vidu is there really at this point. Bolobi and Rockruff on the tier 2. I won't talk about Maracas because unfortunately that thing is there. So you kind of increase your chances on those two. And then the biggest ones, of course, being Larvesta and Rockruff, the dust form Lycanroc. And that's what actually gets me. They get me for that. They know that I'm going to hatch X because of it. I hate them. Anyways, then, of course, there is more exciting things to go about leading up to GoFest 2024. We do have the event happening this week that we have been going on for like Monday or so. Inbound of Ultra Space, from Ultra Space. So basically, all the Ultra Beasts are happening to be in raids each day for 24 hours each. So that way people can actually have fun with it. We are in the final rotations. Tomorrow we're gonna have the GoFest equivalent of them. So we'll have Buswell for the Americans, Formosa for Asian Pacific, or I think it's the other one. I think it's the like the Europe area, and then Circuitry for Asian, of course. So yeah, we also have special time research to actually go with those. If you do 10 raids in total, you get encounters with every single one of the Ultra Beasts in research CP. So that's pretty cool. And if you pay $5, you actually get extra large candy for each one of the Ultra Beasts at that point. So if you're gonna do the raids, might as well buy the ticket. If not, don't worry about it. It really doesn't need to have that much because you're gonna be running a lot. And then Global GoFest is happening. The main event happening during this weekend. Which we can technically just tell you to prepare. Make sure you're stocked up on Pokeballs. You have a lot of space. Granted, there's also been some space increase in the last day, so everybody's going crazy for that. I know, right? Chris is like, I only have 500 spaces for New York.
You think I got 500? No, I'm just...
But yeah, it's gonna be a fun weekend for sure. I am working unfortunately half of the first day, but after that I'm gonna go ham, and I will have my game on almost all day that day if possible, if it allows me to, of course.
Yeah, when it starts at my job, I'll be getting it, and then after 12:30, I'll be out and about.
Yeah, I figure as much. But yeah, so that is the exciting news. Make sure you hatch your 7KX. You are half until the end of the weekend for that, so that's pretty cool. We do have some details about the Ultra Unlock, and this is actually a little bit exciting, but not too exciting because it's all there is. It's just an announcement of an announcement. So Global GoFest again is happening during the weekend. We all know that. You can join. You can upgrade your experience if you buy the ticket. Yada yada yada. We do have the rotating habitats: Dawn Meadow, Shining Day, Creeping Dusk, and Darkest Night. Why do I feel like we have Green Lantern coming through? Anyways, and those have a specific hour. So basically, it's a 4-hour rotation between the two, between each one of the habitats in the end of the day. Yeah. All right. Field Reaches Bonanza. That's an interesting name for it. We do have on July 13, trainers will be able to collect Field Reaches stats from Pokestops that change each hour from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. I'm going to miss through a lot of them, am I? Unfortunately. And then Special Background, which we didn't talk when we had the Ultra Beast. Each one of the legendaries that you are rating have the chance of getting a special background, which is just a little bit different from location background, because unless you're in the actual event in the location, you don't get those. But you're gonna have some special backgrounds that basically Global GoFest is gonna have. So do it as it may will when it comes down to it, and try to get your special ones in. And do you have any thoughts about that, Chris?
Yeah, I think the special backgrounds are really cool. I wish there was a way to influence it more on our end, but having that extra rare factor does give us a reason to keep rating them. So it is fun.
Yeah.
I will say it feels like whenever I want the Pokemon to have the background, it doesn't have it. And then whenever it's a bad IV one that I just could not care more about, then it has the background. I'm like, okay. Or sorry, could not care less about. So That's been funny, but it is definitely cool to have another thing to collect and kind of
Yeah, it's just
have for
another
trade value.
it's another chase at this point. I think I only have one or two special backgrounds. Let me just check real quick. No, I actually only have one with the Cortana. So
Oh,
both
for the newest one?
yeah, yeah, for the special background one day they have for that. Which is cool because I do like the animation that they have for all of that anyways. So it's not bad. And then we have the Ultra Unlock. So after completing all the challenges in each one of the habitats during the GoFest experience or the Global GoFest experience, we can unlock 3 parts. So part 1, Better Together. It's a special to be announced event that will take place on Wednesday, July 17 at 10 a.m. to Sunday, July 22nd at 8 p.m. local time. The Ultra Unlock debut of a Pokemon. That's all I get to say for that one because it's just question marks at this point. Oh man. Then we also have free time research that will be awarded and with the Pokemon in question and other event team Pokemons available throughout the event. The Ultra Unlock bonuses: 2 times catch candy, 4 times catch experience. Oh my god. And then friendship levels will increase faster than normal through opening gifts, trading Pokemon, or battling Pokemon in raids, gyms, and trainer battles. That's actually a pretty good Ultra Unlock just for the 4 times experience.
Yeah, I think anybody that's not level 50 is like salivating right now. And even the people that are, it's definitely nice to have some ready to go in case they do increase.
What's your total XP count in the game right now?
Let me check. Right now I have 232 million 779,627.
I have 312 million, 6,346. So, yeah, that's quite a bit of them. There was actually one other time that I was able to really get the 4 times catch experience. And that was, I think, through a Verizon event distribution and all that. I was luckily able to get one from a friend of mine who did not use it. And with a lucky egg, each catch 8 times experience. Yeah, that's quite a bit of experience there, brothers and sisters. Anyways, then we have part 2 of the Ultra Unlock. After completing a total of 20 global challenges, you'll gain access to the to be announced special event that will take place on Thursday, July 25th at 10 a.m. to Tuesday, July 30th at 8 p.m. Also, for the very first time in Pokemon Go, you'll encounter this question mark shiny if you're lucky.
Oh my.
So a brand new shiny for the Ultra Unlock at about 2 weeks from there. And then if we complete 20 more challenges of the global challenges, you'll be able to unlock a part 3 Mega Ray Day with a brand new shiny debut. Yeah, again, to be announced when it comes down to it. So we'll definitely have more info as we go along after GoFest. I don't know. We may actually record like Monday. Was that okay with you, Chris?
Yeah, Monday should be good. Yeah, the only day I can is Sunday this week, sadly. Even though I know that's the day we usually do it.
Yeah. But I mean, if we have a global Go Fest and everybody's gonna have to want to hang out and things like that.
Sleepy.
Yeah, sleepy. Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna have the chance to go. But regardless, this podcast will be out before you guys' time during the weekend. So, also, just to make sure you guys know, during this whole week we had 20 remotes that we can actually do for each one of the Ultra Beasts, regardless. As of, I want to say 5, no, not even that, like maybe 3 hours ago, it has been unlocked and we have unlimited remote rates. As much as I want to say go ham, please spend your money wisely. Because the remote rates are still expensive. So my wallet is still crying. Anyways, but yeah. And how about you talk about what Necrozma has from now on?
Yeah. So, as you guys well know, megas give us the adventure effects and also the origin forms? Well, we got two new adventure effects for Sunsteel Strike and Moongeist Beam. So to those of you that played the main series games, those probably sound very familiar. For those of you that haven't, we'll learn about that together. With the introduction of Duskmane Necrozma and Dawnwings Necrozma, which is the two different fusions that are going to be available, we were able to choose one of them at GoFest, but we should be able to get both of them for the global, hopefully.
Yep.
And yeah, when you fuse them, it will know the charge attacks based on which ones you fuse. So Necrozma fused with Solgaleo will become a Duskmane with Sunsteel Strike. And when you fuse it with Lunala, you'll get a Dawnwings and it will know Moongeist. So if it knows Sunsteel Strike, you're going to encounter Pokemon that harness the power of sunlight for 10 minutes. During that time, Pokemon that typically appear during the daytime will be attracted to your location, similar to the effect of incense. And Pokemon that only evolve during the daytime will be able to evolve at any time with this adventure effect active. So I would imagine it as you have a little tiny sun with you.
Yeah, pretty much.
It costs 3,000 Stardust and 3 Necrozma candy. So yeah, it's another little thing to keep it there. I think it's definitely good if you're always having trouble evolving Pokemon when you want to. So a few of the Pokemon that you're gonna see are Pidgey, Alolan Executor, Solrock, Cottony, Helioptile, Tyrant, Yungoos, Rockruff, and Fomantis. And it says you may even encounter Rockruff that can evolve into Dusk form Lycanroc if you're lucky. So that's always going to be a chase for us for sure.
Yes.
You can extend it in increments of 10 minutes by using more Stardust and Candy, of course. And it can be extended up to 2 hours each time, and it will let you do it up to 24 hours. Very interesting. Sunsteel Strike cannot be active the same time as another adventure effect, an incense, a daily adventure incense, the mystery box, or the coin bag. So just imagine that it's an incense on its own, because it really is, essentially.
Yeah. Now, I'm kind of curious that, and we'll move over to Dunmain or Dustwing or whatever his name is that the pool of Pokemons are chosen just for this special one, aside from the effects of evolving special time Pokemons for daytime and things like that. Will this pool stay the same, or will this pool change every now and then? Because that's not the super more exciting Pokemons in the world to see, you know?
Honestly, I feel like they'll change over time, especially for maybe different events. But just the fact it says some of the Pokemon that you may encounter include makes me feel like they definitely have more in plan for that. So hopefully we'll see.
Hopefully.
But for the Dawn Wings, it's the same thing except for nighttime. Alolan Rattata will be one of the ones. Clefairy, Alolan Marowak, Hoot Hoot, Galarian Zigzagoon, Lunatone, Munna, Amora, and Rockruff. And again, you may encounter the Rockruff that will evolve into Dusk form if you're lucky. Very interesting. In my opinion, I just like the spawns more for the night one, anyways. But yeah, keep in mind it is essentially an incense. And yeah, we still haven't encountered them in raids, but for global, it'll be the first time we're gonna see them, and you'll be able to get fusion energy. I'm worried how much we're gonna be able to get.
Yeah, I'm in the same position there.
Yeah, because we need 1,000 right now to fuse them, 1,000 energy. So yeah, hopefully it's not too bad. The featured attacks, Sunsteel Strike will do 135 power in battle trainer battles, and in gyms and raids it will do 230. And then Moongeist Beam is the same exact thing. So yeah, get out there, get raiding. Hopefully get the shiny, get some hundos. Once you get a Hundo Necrozma, you're good to go because it goes off of Necrozma's IVs and not off of Solgaleo and Lunala's.
Yeah, so we learned a few things after a lot of people be infusing the Necrozma. Just like Kristen's mentioned, it's better to do the Hondo Necrozma if you can find one. A 98 or a shiny will work just fine too. However, you will be spending your energy, quote unquote, on whatever you're trying to fuse it, and you don't get that back. Even if you infuse them, you are able to infuse them, but you're not able to actually return that energy regardless of how it may be. So be very careful of what you choose, and if you want to keep them as it is, that's fine too. We only have certain amount of Solgaleo and Lunalas from the previous event, so unfortunately if you did not get one, unfortunately that's how it is. However, I believe Global will allow you to actually get at least one of the other if you choose one of the paths, which I'll be choosing Lunala this time because Solgaleo just hates me to say.
Yeah, I chose Lunala at New York just because I already had a Solgaleo.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely be choosing a Solgaleo again for that IBU chance.
Yeah. So, however it may be very careful again how much of that you can keep them fused the entire time. So that's the good thing. Just getting the energy back. It will be, as Chris mentioned, tough. So, but yeah, when it comes down to it, it's a really powerful Pokemon, really good Pokemon in Master League if used wisely. So basically, just make sure that you're ready for it. And then even the raids, it's gonna be really interesting to fight the fused forms on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
All right. So with that. We do have one last piece of information, and we'll quickly just go over this because we are a little bit over, just a bit. We do have a little bit of sleep news. Pokemon Sleep is getting their 1 year anniversary or celebrating their 1 year anniversary pretty soon, and I'm excited for it because the very first thing that they announced was that Paldea starters are coming to Pokemon Sleep, and are you excited? I mean, I was hoping a mythical, but you know what? I'll take what I can.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I didn't expect that. But I'll take anything new.
Yeah. It's gonna be nice to go for a hunt and chase. And they did say that we're going to add more information to the 1 year anniversary, so maybe this is not the only surprise that we'll have. But we'll see. Again, it's just the first year. Hopefully another year to go after that. So, but how the game goes, I think it's pretty good. Just because it's a nice, relaxing, run-of-the-mill, chill, catch your Pokemon in your sleep. We don't have a lot of full details about how the new Pokemon are. There are some Dynamining, so we know that they're like ingredient-based Pokemon and all that. But aside from that, their evolutions will actually evolve them into their other typings. So Masquerada will have a Dark type. Skelligers will have a Ghost type, and then what's the evolution of Quatley?
Oh my god.
I know that it's the dancing little boy like dog, but I can't remember at that point the name. Quackleable? Yeah, something like that. Regardless, he will turn into a fighting type, so that may be. There are a few other ingredients and things like that will get that when we actually get to the week. That's going to be starting next week at that point. So it is how it is when it comes down to it. And that's it. That's all we got to say. Anything else you got to cover, Chris?
Nothing I can think of. Yes. GoFest was insane, but it's crazy to think that it's over already.
I know, dude. When I came back, I was like, am I back? Why am I back? I wanted to stay until forever. I wanted to see my friends forever.
Yeah, ripping off a Band-Aid.
I know, right? But hey, as long as Pokemon Go keeps on going the way that it is, we'll have plenty of chances to hang out with our friends any way, shape, or form in the end of the day. And I'll make sure Chris stays the entire time. So anyways, with that being said, guys, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Don't forget to check us out at any of our podcast services feeds: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, not Stitcher because it is not there anymore, Amazon Music, and many more. If you can leave us a review, we would greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. Follow our social media, myself at Pure Go, Chris at Pokemon Trigger, please, and then the Purified podcast for anything related. However, there is one last thing that we forgot to mention. We are going to do a quick giveaway on our Twitter or X, however you may call it, just for everybody out there. So make sure you follow us there on the Purified podcast Twitter, so that way you guys can have a chance of some gift cards, because I think that's what we're gonna do. Anyways, that being said, of course, don't forget to check us at our Discord if you want to talk there. You can also join the Professor Network Discord. Join us on their Patreon too if you want to. I'll get all those details out for the next time the podcast is live, so you guys can actually join it if you want to join the Discord there too, or the Patreon, so I should say. And then don't forget to email us at thepurifiedpodcast at gmail.com. And don't forget to check us out at thepurifiedpodcast.com, the Professor Network. With that being said, Chris, how about you take us away for the night?
All right. I hope you guys that went to New York had a fabulous time. It was very cool to see, how many people were there, how many people were enjoying themselves. Every 5 seconds, somebody yelling out "Shiny!" Yeah,
I know, right?
Always
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah. So hope you guys are looking forward to Global. Play safe, stay hydrated. Don't forget to, eat and drink. Pokemon will be there forever. Your body will not.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So, be safe. Keep an eye on everything. And yeah, be ready. Have plenty of storage ready. Get your balls ready. Make plans with friends. Yeah. Whoops. But yeah, hope you guys have a fabulous time, and we'll catch you guys very, very soon with the next podcast. And it should be plenty to talk about next time too.
Yeah, we'll have some really cool stories. But thank you so much, everybody. Keep purifying them, and we will see you guys next time.